Hello. So am I audible to everybody? Alright, so good evening and welcome to class everyone. So today we will be studying about inflation. Okay, so I think you must be knowing what is inflation. Good evening Nixon, good evening Prabha. Yeah, what is inflation? Can anyone tell me? Okay, one answer is there. Its price increases without an increase in the value of goods. Okay, yeah, it's basically concerned with an increment in the price level, the general price level prevailing in the economy. Good evening, Rezi. So that is the meaning of inflation. Inflation in simple terms is an increase in the price level. So it has got two implications. When there is an increase in the price level in any economy, the things become cheaper, the things become expensive. So because of this, the value of money or value of the currency, it declines. The value of currency goes down because now the things are expensive, and with the same amount of money, we can get a lesser volume of goods. So that means the purchasing power of the money has gone down. Okay. So inflation is basically like when we talk about inflation, in general terms, we always refer to the inflation, that is the increase in the general price level in the economy. Now this can have one more, there is one more side to it. The inflation can be because of the increase in the price level or increase in the supply of money in the economy. That can also be a cause of inflation. If what will be the what will be the scene if the supply of money in the economy is more? What is going to happen then? What will be the result of that? Price increase, more buying. Yes, then the money in the hands of the people will increase, and yes, the buying power will be more. They'll be able to buy more goods, and because of this, that will lead to an increase in demand for the goods, and because of the increment in the demand, there will be a decrease in there will be an increase in the prices also, because everybody wants to sell more. at this point of time. So there will be more like if in case we are not able to adjust the supply accordingly, there will be an increase in the supply and increase in the demand, and because of the increase in demand the prices will go up, and hence the whole set of inflation will set in. The cycle will start. So but the inflation that we refer to in general terms is because of the disturbance in the demand and supply of products. When normally we say that only. Okay, so now we can go to the PPT. Now for measuring inflation, can you see anything? No. Okay, same here. I am also not able to see anything. Give me a minute, I'll upload the PPT again. It's not visible. Okay. Alright, but I'm not able to see still. Okay. Just wait. I'm loading it again. So it will be done. Yeah, just wait. I'm uploading it again. Alright. So for measuring this inflation, there are two different types of indexes which we use for the measurement of the inflation. One is the CPI, that is the Consumer Price Index, and the other is WPI, that is the Wholesale Price Index. So both of these are important and they cater to the different needs. What we are concerned with is the CPI, that is the Consumer Price Index. Just wait, I'll just log out and log in again. Okay, then I hope this will work. The PPTs which have been uploaded will be visible to everybody. So I'll just do that. Just a second. Okay, so now it's visible to everybody. Inflation, pink background. Okay, we can just start now. So this is what all we are going to study. Now what is inflation? It is defined as a sustained increase in the price level or a fall in the value of money. So when the level of currency of a country exceeds the level of production, inflation occurs. This is like when the supply of money is more in the economy, then it results in inflation. So value of money depreciates with the occurrence of inflation. Since the things are expensive, we are getting less goods in the same money. So we will say that the value of money has gone down. Now there is a related term, that is deflation. What does that stand for, deflation? Deflation is the opposite of inflation. Inflation is the increase in the price level and a reduction in the value of money. So deflation is a decrease in the price level and an increase in the value of money. Alright. So what is the formal definition? This one has been given by C. Crowther. He says, inflation is a state in which the value of money is falling and the prices are rising. So in economics, the word inflation refers to general rise in the prices measured against the standard level of purchasing power. Okay, there has to be a standard measurement for comparing, and that is provided by the standard level of purchasing power, or more precisely it is the CPI, that is the Consumer Price Index, or the WPI, Wholesale Price Index, which helps in measuring the rate of inflation in any economy. So now there are different types of inflation. One is open, suppressed, galloping, creeping, and hyper. There are various types of the inflations. So once the inflation has set in an economy, so it needs to be curbed, because if it will not be curbed, then we are going to pass on from one stage of inflation to the other. From open inflation, what is happening? From open inflation, we'll go to this suppressed and galloping, creeping, hyper. The different states will keep on disturbing. So we need to be careful in controlling it. But it is said that a moderate rate of inflation is not bad for any economy, because that I'll tell you, Nasrullah, I'll tell each one in detail. Okay. So I was just telling that a little bit of inflation in the economy is not bad. It is in fact invited, because when there is inflation, then who is benefiting the most? The producers are benefiting the most. They are getting lots of money for their production. So because of this, more and more people will start producing. More people will enter the industry, and that will lead to an increase in the level of employment in the economy, more employment opportunities, and hence more economic growth of the country. So little bit of inflation is always welcome, but it should be in check. Once it goes beyond that boundary, then it is a problem. Okay, so like the nominal rate for inflation that is acceptable is 2 to 3% over a period of time. That is good. That is going to benefit the economy. But if it crosses this, then there can be many problems. Now we will see the different types of inflation in detail. Now one is the open inflation. This one is the rate where costs rise due to economic trends of spending products and services. Means this is the normal level of inflation that is there. And when we talk about it, we are talking about this state only, open inflation in general. Then suppressed inflation is like sometimes the government, what does it do? It tries to control the inflation at an instant. It is a long-term process. It will take some time to yield the results. So if the government wants immediate results, then what it does is it suppresses the rate of inflation by adopting to different means. And because of this reason, the inflation just suppresses. It does not go away. It is still there in the economy. And It sets in at any time and it again takes the economy in its grip. So this is suppressed inflation. It was previously existing and we are just trying to curb, we are trying to just suppress it. We are not trying to curb it totally. That is suppressed. It is also known as repressed inflation. Okay. Yes, Prabha, if like interest rates are cut, then there can be, this is like one of the measures to control inflation in the economy. So now, and this is a temporary type of inflation. It will be for a short period only. Now next is galloping. Galloping is the most dangerous type. It is like in this the inflation crosses by leaps and bounds. There is innumerable increase in the level of inflation in such type of case. Very rapid inflation which is almost impossible to reduce. Even the policies, the monetary policy and the fiscal policy that is adopted by the government is not going to help. It has to be dealt by the economy. Then next is the creeping inflation. This is creeping like a baby creeps. So this is like slow rate of inflation. So this type of inflation is good for any economy. Like for, we can say, over a period of time and within the manageable limits, it is fine. It is good for the economy. But if it crosses that, then it becomes a problem. So circumstances where the inflation of a nation increases gradually but continually over time. This is a continuous process. It goes on increasing continuously. So now, like this time, India is having a real difficult period. Right now what is happening is the weather conditions are very bad over here. So the crops are all getting destroyed and devastated. It's raining here anytime. Right now also this is like mid of March has crossed and by this time the fans should be on, the cotton clothes should be out, but it is pretty cold here. Still, people are wearing a sweater in the afternoon also. One woolen garment is needed. So even today also it was raining in the afternoon. Throughout the day it was like that only. So all this is hampering the crops. It is having bad influence on the crops and because of this the vegetables are becoming very expensive. Right now the vegetables are at a very high price in the market. Vegetables like lady's finger, which is not so expensive at this point of time normally in any year. It is costing 100 rupees a kg right now. It is too expensive. And tomatoes, too expensive. They are also because the crop has been destroyed. So the dry fruits will be even expensive in the upcoming times. It is good for farmers, but it is really bad for the normal people, the consumers. It's really bad for them. Yes. Now the next type is hyperinflation. It is caused mainly by excessive deficit spending, like financed by printing more money. This is when there is an increased supply of money in the economy. And how is the supply of money going to increase? When the government is going to mint money. It is going to mint and circulate that money in the economy. So this is hyperinflation, is a result of that government action. Some economics believe that social breakdown leads to hyperinflation and thus its roots lie in the political rather than economic causes. Yes, this is a different type. It is more of a, it's like, it's not because of the existing factors, it crops up because of the new thing that is happening in the economy. So this is hyperinflation. And this is like a very problematic state, and a country like Zimbabwe, it is facing this type of inflation presently, and because of this the value of their currency has gone down to great heights. Their currency is like not even standing zero in front of the US dollar. It is even less than that. It is in negative terms now because of this state that that country is facing. So it is not good. India is having a state of creeping inflation. So we are having the rate of 3 to 5% of inflation. We are dealing with that. Now what can be the reasons behind inflation? So the factors can be both on the demand side and on the supply side. This is something that we can see in detail in the other PPT. We'll get back to that. Okay. Now what are the factors on the supply side? These are there. We'll see them in detail also. Okay. In the next PPT which we have. Let's just finish this one first, then we can go to that. I'll take to that one first. Now the inflation can also be divided into these categories on the basis of the rate of inflation, like 3%, 6%, 7%, on the basis of the degree of control. How much is controlled? If it is suppressed or it is open, on the basis of causes. Causes of inflation can be demand pull inflation, cost push. This means when it is caused either due to demand or due to a supply. Change in the demand or the change in cost rather. This is demand pull inflation. This is the existing level of demand in the economy. Now the demand has increased to this level. So because of this, the prices are shooting up. Demand has gone from here to here, but the supply remains the same. So obviously the prices are going to go up. From EP, the price level has gone to EP1. Then cost push inflation. In this the EP is the price level. The price level of the goods in the economy, economic price level. So in this, it is cost push inflation. Supply has a major role to play. Okay, it's because of the variations in the supply that there are variations in the cost as well. So like E1 is the initial level of supply, and from that the supply has gone to E. It has increased. So because of it has decreased. Because of this, the price level has gone. Just a minute. The price level, the supply has increased, and because of this, the price level has gone down. From EP1, it has come to this point. So this is cost push inflation. So in demand push, it is demand that plays the role, and in cost push inflation, it is the cost which decides. And cost, that means the supply. The supply is the deciding factor over here. This type of inflation, the cost push inflation, is normally seen in the long run. Can you tell me why? What is the reason behind this cost pushed inflation prevailing in the long run? Normally, it is something that is related to the previous things. This thing can tell me. It has got something to do with the supply and the long run. Can you just tell me? Diminishing returns, a price increase. Okay, Rajiv. Diminishing returns. Anyone else? It's long run. So long run is the time period in which the factors of production can be varied. So since we can change the factors of production, we can change the level of supply of goods in the economy. Isn't it? So this is why the supply will change in the long run, and as a result, there can be cost push inflation in the economy. Clear? Okay. Now, how do we control the inflation? There can be monetary measures, fiscal measures, or other measures. So, monetary measures are those related to money. They are the measures by which the government tries to control the supply of money in the economy so that the inflation can be curbed. So we can just see them. Credit control, demonetization of currency, and issue of new currency. Now what is this credit control? It is a part of actually the it is actually the part of the banking chapter, and we'll be doing it in the next class probably. So this credit control, the monetary measures are those which are taken by the central financial authority of the country, or in other words, they are those policies which can be adopted by the central bank of the country. They play the important role in yes, in India, in Indian case it is RBI, the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so what is this credit control? Credit control is the government tries to control the volume of money in the economy by adopting various measures. Control in issuing license. Nixon, what is that, LC? Is that LC or something else? Some people are typing, so I'm waiting for that answer. Foreign investment. That is not a monetary measure, Prabha. That is a fiscal measure, and that will be taken by the bank. By government. Not really, Nixon. Not the letter of credit. No, not that. So this credit control is a means to control the volume of money in the economy. Like when a 100 rupee note is issued by the government, then what happens is this 100 rupee note passes from people to people. Okay, and over a period of time, this 100 rupee note may hold a purchasing power of 1000. Like same money is used in the various transactions. It is passing from A to B, from B to C, C to D, D to X. So this is like multiple transactions are taking place on the basis of that 100 rupee note only. The government tries to control that because that will restrict the volume of money in the circulating in the economy. So the government adopts various measures for this, like controlling the rate of interest. Whenever the government has to control the volume of money in the economy, what it will do is, like, if there the problem with the government is that the money in circulation is very high. Because of this, the people are having more money in their hands and they are purchasing lots of goods, leading to an increase in the price, increase in demand, and so on. So the government will, like in this case, what will the bank do? It will lower the rate of interest. It will lower the rate of interest, housing loan. Okay, like if this measure is taken, then what will happen? Now people will think the housing loan is now cheaper. They will start applying to banks for the loan, and every month they will be paying EMIs to the bank. So because of this, the money that is available with them, the free money which they can use for purchasing, will be curbed, will be restricted. Previously they were having 10,000 extra rupees. Now after paying the EMI, they will be having just 2,000. So this 8,000 will go to the bank, and that way the volume of money will be controlled. Okay. Then Prabha, that is another policy. The government taxes and all, that comes under physical measures. Fiscal measures covers that. This is monetary measures that we are discussing. So that can be done. Then what RBI can internally do, it will increase the CRR. Okay, you understand CRR? CRR stands for the CRR is the cash reserve ratio. Okay, it stands for cash reserve ratio. So this is a power with the like whenever we go to a money vendor, then what does the money vendor do? It gives us money on the basis of certain security. Then even when we apply for a loan in the bank, there is some fee, that some amount is deducted in the name of the processing fees, isn't it? Even when we recharge our mobile online or from a vendor, what happens is, suppose we get a recharge of 100 rupees done, then only 80 rupees is credited to our account. Where does that 20 go? That 20 goes in the processing fees. That is the processing fees. So we can say that CRR is the processing fees. So it can be in the form of cash, or it can be in the form of gold and all deposits with the bank. So if Reserve Bank feels that the money in circulation is too much, what it will do is it will increase the CRR. So that means now the bank will have to keep a like suppose the bank is if RBI is sanctioning 100 crore to HDFC Bank, or rather ICICI Bank, that is a famous one. So out of this 100, because of the increase in the CRR, this 100 crore will not be available to ICICI in one go. Now what will happen? Suppose the CRR has gone from 20 to 30%. So 30 crore will straight away be kept as a deposit with the Reserve Bank. And now only 70 crore will be credited to the account of ICICI, which will be available with that bank to distribute amongst its customers, to distribute amongst its people. Okay. So since the bank itself is having less money in hand, it cannot provide money freely to the people. So that automatically will reduce the volume of money in the economy. Now the people are having less money, they are able to get less money from the bank. Then similarly, this will lead to a reduction in the volume of money in the economy. We are going to discuss these things in the next class in detail when we will be discussing about the banking functions. Okay, this is just a gist of that. Credit creation, credit control, this is just a gist of that. Alright everybody? Then demonetization of currency. This is like sometimes the government deliberately reduces the volume of its currency. It reduces the value of its currency. Deliberately that is done so that the inflation in the country may be controlled. When the government will reduce the volume of its value of its currency, well, it will demonetizes. What will happen? The goods will become expensive. And how is that going to happen? I'll tell you. There is a reduction in the value of money, and this leads to the imports from the other country will become expensive. Because of this, the supply will be scarce. Then because of this, when the supply is less, means the demand is more but the supply is less. People are not able to get the goods. So that will lead to a rise in price level. So now the things are expensive, so people will buy less of it. Did you get it? How can inflation be controlled by this method? Because the money, the value has gone, the imports become expensive, and this leads to a decrease in the supply of volume of goods in the economy. And we are just using the indigenous goods, the goods that are manufactured in the country only. And so there is scarcity, there may be a scarcity. Because of that, the price level will go up, the things will become expensive, and the bank will, and then the people will restrict their purchasing. Okay, so when the purchasing is restricted, then obviously the demand is going to fall down, and because of the fall in demand, the price is also going to fall down, and hence the inflation will be controlled. Alright, the problem was of increased prices. So when the price has come down, the inflation can be controlled. Got it, everybody? But these measures are really, we use the term double-edged sword. Double-edged sword. Sometimes this term is used. So these measures taken by the government, they are double-edged sword. If they are not, if they are not properly monitored or something, then what can happen is they may just backfire. The company may have a problem. The government may have problems in dealing with them. So they have to be monitored very carefully. And one method is not going to help. It has to be in combination with the other methods. So this is it. Then issue of new currency. When the new currency comes into circulation, then what happens is the supply of money increases. Because of the increase in supply, there will be a, what will be the outcome of this? Can you tell me? Anyone? When more currency is issued, then there is more purchasing power in the hands of the people. So because of the increase in their purchasing power, they will buy more goods. Just a minute. I have to send one important mail. I'm just sending that. Give me a minute. Okay, so that's done now. We can just continue with this. What is Nixon writing? More buyer demand increase in the market, therefore inflation is controlled. The demand for the product increases in the market. So, and like this method will be used only in the long run, when we can control, when we can manage our demand with the increase with supply. Otherwise, the plan will fail. The prices will rise further if you are not able to control that. Okay, so we have to increase the supply also. Now, those were the monetary measures. Monetary measures are those which are in the hands of the Reserve Bank or the Central Monetary Authority of the country. Now, these are fiscal measures. These fiscal measures are in the hands of the government. Okay. So what the government can do, the first is reduction in the unnecessary expenditure. Like whenever the budget of a country is presented, then you see that there are certain things for which the prices are increased, for other things the prices are decreased. So what is the reason behind all this? The reason is to control the inflation only, to control the level of inflation and promote growth in the economy. So, like, if there is a reduction in the unnecessary expenditure, then obviously the demand will be curbed and hence the prices will be under control. Now the next best is the increase in taxes. If the government increases its taxes, then a greater portion of the income of the people will go in the hands of the government. Like, this method is not applicable in Dubai because there are no taxes there. But for other economy like India, which is a developing one, so if the government increases the taxes, then a greater portion of the tax, a bigger portion of the income goes in the hands of the government. So because of this, people are left with less money to spend. So now, since they have less money, they will have lesser demands also, and hence the prices will be controlled. Now, increase in savings. The government may give certain incentives, like incentives to the people to promote their savings. Like if in India there is a rule, yes, FD. In India there is a rule that is tax-free FDR. Now, what is this tax-free FDR? This is a kind of FD which people make to get exemption from the government in the taxable income. Like, the limit for this has been set as 1,50,000 rupees presently. So a person can get an FDR made maximum up to this value, and that income of that, when his income tax will be calculated, he will get an exemption of 1,50,000 in his taxable income. Okay, suppose his taxable income comes to 3 lakh. So in this 3 lakh, this 1,50,000 will be deducted. So he will have to pay tax only on 1,50,000. Okay. After that, tax will, yes. You are right. After deducting whatever value is left, on that the tax will be calculated. So that is a means to promote saving. Government is doubly benefited, and these FDRs normally have a locking period of 5 years. You cannot break them before a term of 5 years. So that is really good. Yes, income from interest is again a taxable source of income. So that will be shown in the income section. Okay, next one. Then surplus budgets, like government can modify budgets. It can introduce budgets in between, which are called intermediary budgets. They can be introduced to make certain changes and control the inflation. Then public debt. Public debt is like the debt which the government, we can say borrowing. The government may just ease this process or procedure. People can they will issue some schemes. They will start some schemes where people get benefited by investing in the government policies, and this money will go in the hands of the government, which it can use for developmental projects of the country. Okay, so it's something very similar to this increase in savings only, but it is under a different head and with different intentions. Yes, bonds can be issued, Kisan Vikas Patra, saving certificates, debentures can be issued by the government. So, and the volume of shares in the public sector undertakings, that can also be increased in the government-owned organizations. That can be increased. So people will invest and the money will go in government's hand and their money will be saved. The money in their hands will be reduced, hence the purchasing will be reduced. So this is how the inflation can be controlled. The easiest is the increase in taxation. Like this time when the budget of India was introduced by the finance minister Arun Jaitley, he increased the service tax from 12 to 13%. 12 to 13.5% in fact. He increased the service tax. Now, what do you think was the reason behind this? With what objective he might have taken this measure? Increasing the service tax from 12 to 13%, 13.5%. Can anyone think of an answer? More money to control the inflation. Like this is with reference to the very first point, reduction in unnecessary expenditure. Like when we go to a restaurant, then the food is dining out becomes more expensive because of the service tax which we pay on the food in the restaurants. The food becomes expensive. Like suppose if the bill is of 1000 rupees, then 13.5, that makes it 130. So we are paying extra 130 rupees on the food. So to curb this unnecessary expenditure by the people, like they will be going to spa, they will be going to saloon, they will be going to watch movies, they will be going to amusement parks. So all these things are going to be more expensive for them because of the increase in the service tax. So yes, hotel staying, any luxury item buying, all these things will have service tax included. Because of the increase in that, the government is trying to restrict the expenditure on such unnecessary things. Okay? Yes. But actually the common people is affected because now all these things have become a trend. So they are getting hit by this meme somehow. Yeah, taxes on the tea and cigarettes are all, no, not tea, but cigarettes, liquors, the taxes are always increased on these things. So for us to curb their supply. Now, what are the other measures is to increase the production, rational wage policy, and price control. Okay, so the best one is to increase the production in the economy. Rational wage policy may be adopted by the government. Okay. So the tea is imported in Middle East. That is really strange. Now, how is this measured? Consumer price index and wholesale price index. These are the two means to measure this inflation, the rate of inflation that is prevailing in the economy. So as common people, we are affected by the CPI, that is the consumer price index. Okay, it is a measure of estimating the average price of consumer goods and services purchased by the household. So CPI measures a price change for a constant market basket of goods and services from one period to the next within the same area. Yes. Like from this year to next year, and within the same area, the same basket of goods which was initially costing 100 rupees is now costing 120 rupees. So that means there is a 20% inflation in the economy. Okay, so it is a price index determined by measuring the price of a standard group of goods meant to represent the typical market basket of a typical urban consumer. The percentage change in the CPI is a measure of estimating inflation. And this is, when we say consumer price index, we are talking an urban consumer. Okay, we are talking about an urban consumer, one who is living in the cities, in the urban area, not in the villages. So this is the indicator of that. Now the next is wholesale price index. This is used by this is of help for the manufacturers or those who are operating in the industry. This is of help to them. WPI was published in 1902 and was one of the economic indicators available to policymakers until it was replaced by most developed countries by the CPI market index in 1970. Yes, this is the oldest method. But now the importance and emphasis is given on CPI, Consumer Price Index, because the government frames policies for the consumers on a whole, rather for the industrialists. So this is an index that is used to measure the change in the average price level of goods traded in the wholesale market. Some countries like India and the Philippines use WPI changes as a central measure of inflation. However, India and the United States now report a producer's price index instead. Now this WPI has been replaced by this PPI, that is the producer price index. So based on that, the measurement is done. Now what are the problems with this WPI? In present day, service sector plays a key role in Indian economy. So consumers are spending loads of money on services like education and health, and these services are not incorporated in the calculation of WPI. So WPI measures the general level of price changes. You can just read it in your from your text, okay? Because I have a video also to show to you. This is a representation of WPI and CPI. Now what is this weight? Is it like quintal, kg? No. This weight means the importance. Okay. Like there is a scale of 100. So out of this scale, primary product has been allotted a grade 22.02. This is the level of importance of primary products for us. This is for the fuels. This is for the manufactured products. So this all will make it 100. This is how it is calculated. For consumers, the food is at the topmost. It is giving 57% of importance to the food. Then this is for non-food. This is minerals, fuel, light, everything. Okay. Now how is this calculated? It's price index for a certain year, price index for a comparative year, upon price index for a comparative year into 100. This is the formula. Now there are different, this is how it comes out when we calculate it. This is how it looks like. Now what is the effects of inflation? They add inefficiencies in the market and it makes it difficult for the companies to budget or plan long term. Uncertainty about the future purchasing power of money discourages investment and saving. Yes, when people feel that there is an economy in the grip of inflation, the investment will be affected. Especially for the developing countries, the foreign investment which they are expecting, that is the inflation is not a good news for that. Then there can also be negative impacts on trade from an increased instability in the currency exchange prices caused by unpredictable inflation. Yes, India was facing this period some times back. Before, we can say 2 years back, or just one year back, when there was Congress government in India. This was the state. The rupee was falling down. The dollar was at its high. It reached almost 65, 66, 65 it reached. Then higher income tax rates because of the inflation will be there. So this all is there. These are some examples of inflation in the recent years. Price of wheat has increased, world oil, rice has increased, CNG, price of CNG has increased. So this is done. Now I'll be showing you a video. Okay, please watch it. Simple video, easy to understand. So this brings us to the end of the video and the class. There was one more video, but I couldn't show it right now because already extended the class by 5 minutes, but couldn't do it. So everybody, thanks for your time, and I hope to see all of you in the next class. So just take good care of yourself. Have a great week ahead. Enjoy your work because work is worship. See you all in the next class. Bye. Please fill the feedback form. Alright. Thank you. Bye. Good night.